Hello everyone, I'm Rahul Nath, Program Director for Game Software Design and Production at DigiPen Singapore. And today I'll speak to you a lot more about DigiPen Singapore. So who are we? We are a specialized university in design, art and technology. We train you for the digital future and we train you through a medium of games for different sectors and industries like software design, game design, production, cybersecurity, and a lot more. Now, a little bit about DigiPen as a whole. We have been in Singapore for more than 10 years, and in this time, we have graduated a lot of students who work across different sectors of the industry. We started in Redmond, USA, about 30 years ago, and since then have even moved to Bilbao, Spain. Our strength in Singapore has been in fostering the digital economy with a great depth of talent which we get from students from all over Singapore. As you can see here, we started all the way back in 1988, and in fact in 2008 we opened our first international campus in Singapore, and in 2010 we had our first batch of graduates. Now, a lot of you who might be watching this video may be thinking that where do the students come into DigiPen Singapore from? Well, they come in from all places, whether it's polytechnics, whether it is JCs, students from everywhere come to DigiPen Singapore. So you don't have to worry if you are from a polytechnic, or you don't even have to worry if you are from a JC. You don't have to worry whether you are from a related course or an unrelated course. DigiPen Singapore, the curriculum is such that we take it as you don't have a lot of experience coming in here. And it is our job to guide you and take you through the steps over 4 years so that you gain experience, whether it's in tech, art, or design. So don't worry if you feel like you do not have the right experience or right pre-qualifications to come into DigiPen Singapore, because we are looking for students who are very passionate. That's very important. Whether you are passionate about art, design, or technology, the doors of DigiPen Singapore are open to you. Our annual student intake is 270, and currently the enrolled students is more than 1,000. Now, this is a lot of students to manage, and thus we have a wide variety of lecturers who come from various disciplines and various industries to go with you and be with you through the 4 years. Now, what are the three main pillars of DigiPen Singapore if I have to break it down? Well, the first is our academic foundation is extremely strong. So we are not just a university which focuses on theory, we also focus a lot on practical application. In fact, one of the unique things about DigiPen Singapore is every semester you will be having a project class. And from year 2 onwards, in this particular project class, you will be working with people from different degrees to make a huge project. This could be a technology project, this could be a game project, or this could be any other design or tech project too. For example, future design like virtual reality, mixed reality, augmented reality. What this does is, as a student, it helps you communicate with different people across degrees. So an artist needs to know how to talk and communicate with a software developer. A software developer needs to know how to communicate with a designer. And a designer would know and would need to know how to bring about his or her vision to the entire team. So this is one of the crucial aspects of DigiPen Singapore, because when you go out in the industry too, you will work with people from different environments, from different mindsets, and this is what we prepare you for. However, we also have a lot of theory. For example, in the computer science courses, you will learn a lot of theory based on mathematics, physics, on simulation too. So this gives you a very strong grounding in concepts too, because do remember, the tools may always change, but the concepts, they are what remain the same, and those are the things you need to grasp. And of course, we have a lot of industry collaboration too, whether it's through an internship in your final year or getting people from the industry to come in and advise you, whether it's in your projects or sitting into your class to see a bit of your work. One important distinction about DigiPen Singapore is that while we do make a lot of games inside DigiPen Singapore, we use games as a medium to an end. So, how do we use games as an end? Well, games is an ultimate medium for user experience. And in doing so, you will be learning how to build a game engine from scratch. You'll be learning how to build content into a game engine from scratch, adding art assets to the game engine. And in doing so, you'll be learning in depth about user experience, about design, about how wireframes are made, about color theory, also about concepts like level design, UI design, narrative design. And thus, these skills are applicable to different sectors too. So we teach through the medium of games, and these are a means to an end. Now, if you look at this particular video here, this was made by students in Year 3 in DigiPen Singapore as a part of their Year 3 group project. And as you can see from this particular video, there's a lot of work put in. For example, all the art assets that you see are built from ground up to fit into a custom engine that the computer science students built. There's also a lot of design work put in here. For example, all the voices are recorded by students inside of DigiPen Singapore, and a lot of the music too is composed by the students from ground up. So one of our strengths is to encourage students in multidisciplinary projects so that students can learn how to work with each other and build a project in 6 months' time. And in doing so, they would get valuable skills which make them ready for the job market. We have quite a few degrees. When it comes to computer science, 2 of our flagship degrees are BS in Computer Science in Real-Time Interactive Simulation and BS in Computer Science in Interactive Media and Game Development. So it is up to you to have a look at all these different degrees that we have to offer and see which one is good for you. Now, an important thing here is that go for something that you can get better at and you're passionate about, as opposed to following what other people say. This is extremely important because if you're good at something, you will get better at it by just having interest in that subject material. However, if you just enter a degree because, let's say, your friends are saying it's a popular degree or your parents are saying it's a popular degree, your heart may or may not be in it. There's a lot of information also provided on our website about our degrees, and of course we have a lot of content online too, so please feel free to reach out to us if you want to know more about each individual degree. Now, speaking a little bit more about the Bachelor of Arts in User Experience and Game Design degree. The important thing about this particular degree is that our main philosophy is design is design. And in doing so, we look at design from a user experience perspective, UI perspective, game design perspective, technical design perspective, and immersive design perspective, which contains AR, VR, mixed reality, and virtual production. As you can see in the chart over here, 35% of the course content is going to be design, starting from year 1, where you learn a lot more theory on the fundamentals of design, on the fundamentals of project management and team management, and you will also be making a game or any other product in a small team of 4. Going from there, you'll also be introduced to the basic principles of user interface and user experience design in year 1, semester 2 itself. And going forward, in the coming years, you will learn things like level design, narrative design, story-based implementation of design across different sectors, web design, and a lot more. Now, if you see the chart, you'll also see that we have a lot of electives offered. What are these electives like? These could be electives based on cultural studies. These could be electives based on psychology. These also could be electives based on a completely different platform like mobile-based design. We offer a wide variety of topics for you to choose from, and it is up to you to see which fits your interest. We also have a math and science component. Now, you might be asking yourself that, why do we have a math and science component while I'm learning design? This is extremely important because while you're learning design, you're also learning how to code using the C# language. And in doing so, you can build prototypes extremely fast. The days of just writing about your design idea or thinking about your design idea are far gone. Nowadays, when you have a design idea, people want to see how it will play out. And building a prototype quickly for your entire team is one of the best ways to showcase that skill. And there is a computer science component to this particular course too, which you'll be learning through C# scripting, as I said before, blueprints in Unreal, or other forms of visual scripting. In this particular slide, you can see that we collaborated with RSAF to build virtual reality training simulations for them, which then they could use in their base and fasten up their training process, which would otherwise take months. This was an extremely interesting project which was done over 3 months, and teams had to work very closely with the industry experts to get an actual sense of different mechanisms which are used in the training process while building prototypes quickly. You can see that we also have projects which cater to different sectors. For example, in this particular project, the whole sector that we were targeting was the tourism board. Especially with something like COVID, we realized that tourism may take a big hit. So we wanted to encourage tourists to know small details about Singapore which they would not know initially. For example, in this particular project, you are introduced to ice cream sellers across Singapore, which now is becoming an extinct species. You actually interact in the simulation as an ice cream seller with different buyers, while the simulation also gives you information about their history, their licensing problems, and why they are getting extinct.
Ice cream uncles on Orchard Road may soon become relics of the past as island-wide licenses are non-transferable and no longer obtainable.
I'll take a chocolate bread.
I think I would take a mango flavor, but please give me that in a biscuit river.
Kid, you want bread? You want in a cup? Which one you want?
Uncle, saka ice cream berapa?
Now, there are other applications we also build across platforms. For example, this application is built on the mobile, which encourages HDB buyers in Singapore to redecorate the entire house without ever stepping into the house. It was built over 3 months period specifically for Singapore, and the sizing is done exactly according to the HDBs found in Singapore. On the UI and UX part, we do a lot of wireframing, low-fidelity mockups, high-fidelity mockups, proof of concepts, and build products across platforms, whether it's PC, mobile, or different screens. It's very important to understand screen integration and how pixels and colors look across different screens. So if you are someone who has a flair of understanding products, but from a user experience point of view, from a UI point of view, to make it seamless for the user, this is a great course for you. In terms of career outlook, our students are hired by different sectors in the industry, whether it is the technology industry, whether it is the design industry, or whether it's the film or previous industry. Our students can almost be found everywhere. In terms of the game industry, you can find our students having roles such as game designers, level designers, user experience designers, technical designers. In terms of the software design industry, you can have our students go into it with roles such as software technical designer, user experience technical designer, user experience designer, or creative designer too. You also have our students work as narrative designers across industries or design consultants too. So the scope there is huge, especially with immersive media coming along in the next few years. We offer courses in VR, AR, mixed reality, more towards the final year, and a lot of our students are now being hired as VR developers or AR developers in this upcoming industry. We also invite people from different sectors of the industry, whether it is technological industry, design industry, or the game industry, to come and see your projects, give you comments on these projects. Why is this extremely important? Well, there's few reasons to it. One, getting comments from professionals makes the whole process a lot more fruitful. And secondly, it is very important to understand how professionals see your product. What are the tips that they can give you if that product was to be launched in the market? We also exhibit your products in different events, whether it is Unite Singapore, whether it is the Taipei Game Show, or different events which are propping up all around the globe. This is to give students more exposure to communicate with strangers and also to get you over any shyness that you may have based on your career. Now moving on to the BFA in Digital Arts and Animation program, I would like to invite the Department Chair, Mr. Calvin Tan, to come in and speak to you.
Right, thank you, Raul, for that introduction. My name is Calvin Tan, and I am the Department Chair for the Department of Fine Arts and Animation. Today, I will be talking about the BFA, Bachelor of Fine Arts, in Digital Arts and Animation. I would like to kickstart my presentation with a showcase of student works. As you can see, for the first-year students during the freshman year, all of our students will be required to do a lot of drawing. Nature of these drawings aim to cultivate and sharpen the aesthetic sensibilities of our students. We believe in a strong, robust foundation for all of our students because we want them to form a solid bedrock for them to develop more sophisticated and advanced skill sets later throughout their course of study here at DigiPen. It starts off first with the basic of drawing and as well as the honing of aesthetic sensibilities. And gradually, we will introduce them to digital tools. And that is where you will see some of the works will start to take on a more refined and more polished look. As you can see, as the years progress, most of our students will have sharpened their skill sets, honed their sensibilities. And as you can see, some of them, the work that you see here, you can't even distinguish them between what is actually modeled on a digital software or what is reality. Most of our students will have an accompaniment of both drawing, design, as well as animation, as well as 3D modeling skill sets attached to their portfolio. So as you can see, towards the end of the coursework, all of our students are very capable in doing a variety of work. Right? This puts them in a more advantageous position when it comes to employment. And one of the key features about the DigiPen program is the Overseas Immersion program, which is extended to all of our students, regardless of which program they are from. It involves a one-year study trimester in our parent campus at Redmond, USA. It is there they will have the wonderful opportunity to interact not only with the faculty and students from the parent campus, but at the same time being able to embrace as well as to immerse themselves in the culture, the diverse culture rather, of the digital economy. For those of you who are interested in the BFA program, you are required to produce between 10 to 15 samples of drawing for your portfolio. The portfolio should consist of 2 drawings of the same shoe from different angles, 1 self-portrait, as well as 1 interior drawing. The remainder of the portfolio should consist of miscellaneous art samples. So, my question is, what is your plan after graduation? Do you intend to work, or do you intend to study? And perhaps maybe more appealing, just to take a break. But I'm guessing that if you are watching this video, you are most likely contemplating study. So, what does it mean to study? I guess John G. Hibben summarizes this very well. Education is the ability to meet life's situations. And especially in today's context, this couldn't be more pressing. You need to ask yourself, do you have the capabilities to deal with such a situation that we are now being confronted? Ask yourself this question again. Do you want a job or do you want a career? Now, I guess most of you watching these videos who have probably have experience doing a part-time job. I want to ask you, how much training did you receive for that part-time job? I'm guessing for that part-time job, an hour or 2 for the training. So, if you're thinking from that perspective, 4 hours for a degree program, wouldn't that constitute as an overkill just for a job? You see, what we do here in DigiPen is that we are preparing all our graduates not for a job, but rather a lifelong pursuit of a career. And in order for you to pursue a career, you will need more than just skills. You will need experience. And that is what makes DigiPen unique. Unique in a sense is that not only do we emphasize on a very, very rigorous foundation, have a very applied approach in our learning, but at the same time, we want to develop and grow the student into one of an experienced professional the moment they step out of our gates. Now, as you can see, our students are career ready because we emphasize a lot of application. And what better way to apply those skill sets than to have an internship with the companies? As you can see, in the 4th year, so in trimester 1 and 2, some programs of our DigiPen program are required to take an internship with a company to grow themselves and acquire not just the experience, but to also apply the academic knowledge in a real-life scenario. As you can see, our employment numbers are pretty high. 93% of our graduates find jobs within 6 months of graduation. And out of the 93%, 42% of them are able to find jobs in non-related fields. Now, this doesn't mean we have not trained our students well. Conversely, we have trained our students so well that they are also in demand in other sectors. They are all there applying what they have learned in our program, but in a different field, which underscores the fundamental principle of what we do here. It is to prepare our students to meet with life situations. As you can see, what better way to prove the value of our graduates than the median gross monthly salary of our graduates when they enter into the market, as reported by the MOE Graduate Employment Survey in 2018. So if you are interested in our program, bear in mind the application period is between mid-January to mid-March 2021. All applications must be submitted via the SIT admissions portal. Remember, DigiPen adopts a holistic approach in our students such that they will be able to acquire the necessary skill sets in order for them to meet with their life situations. For those who have financial concerns, tuition grants are available for those who are in need. So you may check out the SIT website for more information. For more information regarding admissions, kindly forward your questions to admissions.sg@digipen.edu. Right? Remember, change is inevitable, growth is optional. So on this note, I would like to extend an invitation for growth with us here at DigiPen. For more information regarding more of our courses, bear in mind we have a preview day coming up on 30th of January 2021. Scan the QR code for more information. And on this note, thank you for your time and stay safe.